was the belief that dinner was a time when families should gather at home, which is why neither of their delis was open during the dinner hour. One thing they didn't share was internal body clocks. Pasha had always been an early riser. Masha had always been hard to get out of bed before noon. They had subjected their parents to more than a few trials while they were being raised. After they had both finished college, they made a joint decision and convinced their parents that providing food was a noble and necessary occupation. Rather than making things overly complicated by trying to open a 24-hour restaurant that catered to everyone, they split the difference and opened two small, almost side-by-side delis, both of which encouraged people to go home to enjoy family dinner time. For Pain and Agony, who didn't keep what anyone would consider regular hours, the twins were a godsend. What wasn't quite a godsend was their first hire. All Yolanda had to do between her incessant gum snapping while she manned the desk in their small reception area was answer the phone, transfer a call if one of her bosses was in, or take a legible memo if they were both out. While there was a little filing here and there, it wasn't much. They hadn't been in business long enough for the paperwork to have piled up. The partners had just returned from an annoying morning spent sifting through the public records at the city clerk's office downtown, where they had to fill out an individual form for each record they wanted to look at. The clerk, whose desk plate read Joan Reedy, refused to pull more than one file at a time. Technically speaking, that was well within her designated obligations. The reasoning behind the city's one file at a time policy was to make sure there was enough work for the number of employees the city clerk's record office insisted were necessary. If one clerk could pull more than one record at a time, it would be hard to justify the number of staff that was needed. If one clerk could, heaven forbid, pull 8 files at once, the number of man-hours would take a drastic cut, and no one on Joan Reedy's side of the desk wanted that. It didn't matter that Pain and Agony had requested 8 files, all of them consecutively numbered. The woman would only pull one at a time. They would then pay to have copies made, return the file, and wait for Lazybones Joan to meander through the stacks to pull the next one. Maybe, Payne suggested as they finally left the record clerk's office, we should train Yolanda to handle simple tasks like this. I don't know, partner, she responded as they enjoyed the sunshine on their 4-block walk to the office. That would require her to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. With nothing pressing on their schedule, they were trying to do a little follow-up research on a job they had finished 2 weeks after they had their office squared away and brought in a receptionist from a temp company creatively named Hire a Temp. It had been an ugly job from all perspectives, but the successful completion had made it feel worthwhile. A particular name, though, had caught their attention. It was prominent enough to send them to the records clerk's office in an effort to clear up a few questions. Do you think, Payne asked as they stopped at a street vendor's falafel stand, that we'll ever have a missing persons case that requires us to simply trace a missing person and not a terrorist plot or, as in this latest one, a human trafficking ring? That would be a nice change of pace, Agony agreed and asked for some extra hummus. They sat on a bench and enjoyed their lunch. It was a pleasant interlude during which to disengage their minds from their experience with Joan the Moan before they returned to their office and the gun-snapping receptionist. She tapped the shoulder bag she used to hold the files they had copied, which now rested on the bench between them. That is a scary name, Payne. A very scary name, he agreed as he took a bite of his falafel, appreciative of having something other than a hot dog or